Howdy there, Internet students. Mr. Hermanson again. Today we're going to talk about circle graphs. Kind of a real popular graph. You can represent something that makes up a whole, and each part of the pie, the bigger the slice of the pie graph or circle graph, the greater the percent in that amount. So let's just start by having you do these first 6 problems here using this circle graph. Go ahead and answer those questions, and you can check back and see if you got them right. So the circle graph here represents all of the carbon dioxide, 100% of it in the world, and then what each part of the world produces out of that amount. Okay, check your answers, see if you think you got them right. Now we're going to learn how to make a circle graph. You need to have some data. The first thing you're going to want to do is total up that data, because you're going to have to figure out what portion you want for each of that. So here we have favorite types of movies, and the total here is 20. Okay, so these are people, 20 people that were surveyed. Okay, so comedy got 4 votes out of those 20. As a percent, I'll go over a couple of ways to change that to percent. You can put it out of 100, use yourself a window pane. The shortcut would be, since you're finding your percent, just divide them. 4 divided by 20 equals 0.2, and then multiply that by 100 to change it to a percent. So that's 20%. Okay, so go ahead and fill in the rest of those. Put in the number of votes for each category, and then what percent they make up. All right. Now to do the number of degrees, we know there's 360 degrees in a circle, so you could just take and just change this total out of 100 to be out of 360 if you want. If you like doing proportions to find your answers. These window panes you can use to help you find your proportions. Personally, I like to do this, since I know it's always going to be out of 360. What I'll do, and I already have the percent, what I'll do is take my percent, change it to a decimal, and then just multiply to scale it up to out of 360. So 20% of a circle is 72 degrees out of 360. Okay, go ahead and fill in the rest of those. Make sure that your total percents add up to 100 and your total degrees add up to 360. All right, here's what I got for those totals. Okay, now to make the graph, we have to actually have a way to measure that number of degrees. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use a protractor. Now you can just check this out to do a little bit, figure out how to use a protractor properly. But remember, here's a good rule of thumb, that an angle that looks like an L, straight up and down and straight over, is a 90-degree angle. So if it's a smaller angle than that, like say an angle in here, then you're going to be using this part of the protractor between 0 and 90. If it's bigger than that, like say an angle like this, then you're going to be using these numbers over here, these bigger numbers. And they're on both sides, so you can measure from each way. I got a couple examples I'll do with you quickly, in case you've never used a protractor before. Here's some angles. Now I know this angle right here is less than 90, so I want to think about that first. I'm going to take my protractor, and I am going to line it up so that the center of it lands right on the angle like that. And then since it's less than 90, I'm going to use the smaller number scales. And so, so I'm looking right here at this part right there, and I think this one is about 68 degrees. Okay, now this other angle I have over here, it's greater than a 90-degree angle. Again, I'm going to line up the bottom so that it's right on the bottom line of the protractor. Put the center right at the vertex of the angle, the corner of the angle. And since this one's greater than 90, I'm going to be looking at the bigger numbers here. And this one looks like it's about 120 degree angle. All right. So, so we're going to use that. We know we had already figured out what angles we needed. Now we just have to measure those angles onto a circle. All right, so you can start with any circle you want. I'm going to make this a little bigger just so it's easier for you to see it. All right, so for comedy, I need a 72 degree angle. And for action, I need a 90 degree angle. For romance, I need a 108 degree angle, and so on. I'll come back and reference those. But let's start by making the 90 degree angle for action. Okay, you're going to just start by drawing a straight line anywhere. And then you're going to use your protractor All right, so put the center right on the center of your circle. Make sure that it is right on your line that you started with. And then you could put just a little mark with your pencil at the number of angles that you want. I want 90 degree angle, so I'll put a little mark there. Move my protractor out of the way. You can use the side of your protractor to make a nice straight edge. But now I just need to draw a line from there to there. Straighten my line out a little bit there. There we go. And that, remember, is action. So let's mark it action, and it doesn't hurt to put your percents in there also. So action, that was 25% of the total. Okay, I'm going to go from there and do my 72 degree angle next. So I'm just going to take my protractor again, and this time I'm going to put it right on this line, and I'm going to measure a 72 degree angle here, and that's on the small side, so 72 is about right there, and then I'm going to draw that line in. And that was comedies, so we should fill that in. All right, and that's 20% of the total, I think it was. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is 108 degrees, and that's romance. I'll show you how to do one of those bigger angles. So we're going to just take it from where we were last. All right, now since this is more than 90, I need to mark 108 degrees on this side of the 90. Looks like about right there. And draw on a line for that. Okay, and that one is my 30% romance. And I'm going to do one more. You can either do the 72 or the 18. I think it'd be easier to do the 72, and then the 18 will be left. So I'll do the 72. Okay, so measuring from the center again on the small side, 72 is about right there. And then the leftover is that small slice of 18. Sometimes it's hard to fit it in, so it's okay to put a little arrow and say that's 18% and that's drama. All right. Well, that should get you started. I showed you how to measure angles. You can review some of this if you like. You should be ready to do your homework. Other than that, I'll talk to you soon.